World History students, here is your assignment for Tuesday. Scroll down to the World War I folder and we'll click on the period username, Treaty of Versailles. Make a copy of this document, title it correctly, share it with me. I'm going to pop it out into its own tab here, and we'll scroll down and begin to discuss what you need to do today. So we know that we just got done with our study of World War I last week, and after World War I, lots had to be decided, and some of the questions that were on the minds of many leaders, as it says here, were, where do we go from here? After a war is fought between nations, what do you think should happen next and why? And I want you to write your answer to that right in this section. So we know that 8 to 10 million soldiers died in the battlefield, and some projections have that estimate up to 10 million soldiers dying in World War I, and almost 22 million soldiers were wounded. So it was kind of unsettling for people, and people wanted to know, what are we going to do from here? So this document is going to help us understand what happened after World War I. So I want you to read this information and answer these questions right here. You can see that there are 4 sections to answer here. So the questions are, what type of peace was proposed in the Peace Without Victory speech? Why do you think it's important that peace is not quote-unquote forced upon the loser? Why do you think Wilson thinks it is important to consider what he says upon what terms the war is ended, rather than just settling with ending the war? What are the 14 points and why were they written? And why do you think it's important to have open covenants of peace in the public view? What might happen if there are treaties made secretly? So they're talking about here basically having this big meeting in public so that everybody knows what the terms of the treaty were. Why do you think it's important to do that in public view, and what might happen if those treaties are made secretly? So you're going to read that and answer that today. You're also going to scroll down and read the section titled Peace Arrangements After the War and answer these questions. So what was the purpose of the Paris Peace Conference? What was the name of the treaty that ended World War I? What was the League of Nations? Why was it formed? And did Wilson's League of Nations accomplish his hopes, and explain why it didn't accomplish his hopes? So this is what you're responsible for doing today. After you did Twisted Tuesday, I would assume that it would take you some time to discuss this section and make your prediction, and then I was allowing you about 10 to 15 minutes for this section and 10 to 15 minutes for this section. Some of you may take a little longer than that, some of you might not take that long, but that's what you need to accomplish today. So again, remember, if you happen to miss class yesterday, I'll scroll up to the World History section here. Yesterday you watched America, the Story of Us Boom, and you may not have had a chance to finish that. So if you get finished with your Treaty of Versailles work today, you can work on America, the Story of Us Boom. Or if you have both of those done, you can read any current events on any current event website that you want to. Remember, map testing information, or map testing, will be done tomorrow. First period students, another reminder that you need to charge your laptops tonight and make sure that you are ready to go for the map testing tomorrow. You'll be with me tomorrow for map testing. Remember, all of you, on Thursday we'll come back and we'll review these 2 documents, and you'll have some time to finish them up or ask any questions that you might have about them on Thursday. And then on Friday we have our George Mayer Day of Service. So that does it. I hope you've had a good couple days, and I will see you tomorrow.